All right. Awesome. Okay. I can't see myself, but maybe y'all can see me. I don't know. While we record. Yeah, who knows? So I'm Stephanie, and then Sheila, and we are both natural health practitioners here in Northwest Arkansas. And so we're just excited to share a little bit about the LifeWave X39 patches and some of the things that you can do, and just for overall health. And Sheila, feel free to jump in whenever you are ready.
I want to mention, I don't know if you were planning on doing this, but if you don't know Stephanie, she has written a wonderful book, and it is great for vibrant health. It gives us a great framework and starting to talk about phototherapy and using that as a tool. I would love for her to say something about that because it's phenomenal. It's really been a cool thing for me anyway, and several of my friends have done the Bible study also.
Awesome. So yeah, so the Live in Vibrant Health book is the name of it. It's on Amazon, and it's not just a book, it's a little bit of a story, but it's also got lots of activations and exercises for you to dive deeper. And just because I knew that lots of people, as we talk to people, they want a supplement or something to fix something or replace something, but a lot of the stuff that we need to do is internal. So it walks you through some of the internal stuff so that we can get to the outside and just kind of put it all together, body, soul, and spirit. And yeah,
cool.
I think that's it.
Now, in our presentation, were you planning on talking a little bit more about that?
I didn't tonight. I wasn't tonight, if that's okay.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine.
This slide just said optimal health, and we tend to use the word vibrant, just like the word vibrant health. But it's just that it's well-rounded. It's body, soul, and spirit. It's not just a physical health, because we know people that are healthy on the outside, but they're really messed up on the inside, and that does not contribute to health. And Sheila uses a MEND acronym, if you want to give that MEND acronym.
Sure. I use this MEND acronym that a fellow kinesiologist taught me. M is for mechanical, so that's the cells, the tissues, the joints, the bones, the muscle. E is emotions. N is for nourishment, so what you are taking into your body and on your body. That includes all of the things we put on our skin, what we're inhaling, and what we're eating, obviously. And then D is for disconnect, and that's about the bioelectrical systems in the body. You are a bioelectrical being. I think of it as circuits in a house. You have a breaker box in a house and a wire that goes to the light switch and back to the light and then back to the breaker box. So it makes a loop or a circuit. And when we turn that light switch off, we get no power to the light. And our body is wired in the same way. We are very much electrical beings. And I think of the light switches as the acupressure points on the body. And I think of the organs and teeth and that kind of thing as lights, the actual thing. And so if we have an electrical disconnect in our body, we don't get power that we need to our systems, our body systems. So I always think of that as 4 legs of a chair. And if we get one that's out of balance, we tip over or we get symptoms. And so it's kind of a cool visual. Sometimes we have a short leg in the nutrition or the nourishment part, right? And we need to work on that a little bit more. Sometimes it's the emotional component, whereas like a Bible study, like Stephanie's Bible study book is phenomenal for. Sometimes we do need to treat an injury or we have inflammation. And so all 4 of those aspects have to be in balance for us to live a vibrant life. And that's kind of what we have found phototherapy to be, a tool that addresses all 4 of those legs of that chair.
Mm-hmm. Let me just read this. Optimal health and wellness, vibrant health. So we're talking about using an X39 patch, and we'll explain that as we go. But it's stimulating the skin with light. It's there's no ingredients that are absorbed. That's what non-transdermal means. And then it's also utilizing those acupressure points that she mentioned before. So we're using light on certain points on the body. So that's just a little screen. And what is phototherapy? It is just works just like the sun hitting our skin. And we know that our skin will produce body will produce vitamin D from exposure to the sun. And then we watched one of David's videos, and he also mentioned that men have androgen receptors, I think on the top of the shoulders. Is that right? And that will, when the sun hits them, they'll make testosterone, which I did not know that. That was a new one for me. So it's the same principle here. We're talking about light hitting the body and it causing a reaction, a chain reaction in the body that increases copper peptides and can activate our stem cells. And so we'll kind of get on to that. But if you can just think the sun makes vitamin D in our bodies, then you'll know, you'll understand the principle of as far as how it works, which that means we don't totally understand, but it does work.
Vitamin D is very, very critical to the body also for every body function. And when we take a supplemental vitamin D, which is important, especially from October to March, because we don't transduce it from the sun, we're not outside as much, and we're not as close to the sun, so we're not absorbing as much sun, thereby making endemic or vitamin D from within our body. That we only absorb about 30% of the vitamin D we take supplementally, and we have to take it 3 times a day to keep it in our body. And to me, that's absolutely amazing. And statistics show that 85% of the people that live in the United States are immune suppressed because of lack of vitamin D. So it's a tool to help us to create our own vitamin D with that infrared light.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then acupressure. And if you're familiar with this, reflexology, a lot of us have all used essential oils. Sometimes we use oils in certain spots, but acupressure. So when we use the patches on certain points of the body, then it's activating that as well. And that's just following the Chinese acupuncture points. I don't really have anything else to say on that unless you do.
Nope.
All right, so copper peptides. And so this is what the patches are reflecting back and into the infrared from the skin. I'm sorry, I'm not saying this very well. From your own body, reflecting back into your own skin. And it's tested and shown to increase copper peptides. And so why is that important? So this was a test that everything is clinically tested, but it showed it increased these copper peptides in less than, I mean, it was like they took a test in 24 hours and then in a week, I mean, it was instant almost. So why would we want this? It stimulates blood vessel, nerve outgrowth, increases collagen, elastin, improves tissue repair, lung connective tissue, stomach lining, skin, protects the cells, anxiety, pain, aggression, inflammation, and it helps all of those things reduce. DNA repair, activation of cell cleansing. So the list is long, 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 and all clinically studied, which is amazing. And 96 to 97% effective for everyone they've tested. So
the studies, they've got over 86 published studies that have been in the last 18 years. And every one of the studies showed like a 300% increase in copper peptide production, which it is the precursor to everything in your body. These stem cells, think about stem cells are those tissues that you build everything from, right? And stem cell therapy is not, it's expensive. It's illegal in the United States. And there is not a thing that the copper peptides, I was listening to some of the studies this week on it, and it's crazy. They did one study that had 20 people in it, and they measured urine, blood, and heart rate variability. So the heart rate going up and down. Out of the 20, 19 out of the 20 experienced an increased copper peptide content in the blood and the urine, as well as heart rate variability improved within 15 seconds. And then the one person, it was a minute and a half to 2 minutes before she saw a drastic increase. That's insane. Like, so it's working so well for so many people just based on the stem cells that it's causing your body to create within itself, kind of like the vitamin D thing. So.
That was just another thing. And she just brought up stem cells. Those are just our raw materials. So those stem cells can divide and change into things, whatever the body needs. And so they talked about injecting stem cells, which is still very risky. very expensive. But David mentioned that in the studies in Japan, they had tried injecting, I believe it was animal studies, not a person yet, but they injected them into a brain, only they multiplied and divided into muscle tissue and skeletal tissue, and so not brain tissue. And so the animals died. So
It's forming abnormal cell growth
mhm.
when you inject stem cells. And each injection, they said there's only about a 20% success rate with that. And they run about $25,000 per injection. And you have to have a series of at least 3. So they're very expensive, very, very risky. And you need stem cells, right? The older we get, the less we create. Do you have a slide on that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, go for it.
So when you get older, by age 30, your stem cells decline by 60%. And by age 60, 90%. So that's why we see wrinkles, right? We see body aches. We see those mysterious pains the older we get. And then if you throw into that life, right, that you have injury and that kind of thing, and your body doesn't have the stem cells to repair itself, no wonder we're a hot mess, right? Like, and I've never seen something so potent, and I'm so excited about this. Just simply not for the wrinkly part, but that's a side perk. But just think about that inflammation and the things that you've got going on in your body. So
Absolutely. And so this is just kind of transferring over to the actual X39 patch that's also been clinically tested, proven to increase those copper peptides, balance energy flow, vitality, more active lifestyle, helps with menopause symptoms, which several of us on here might be interested in, strength and stamina, athletic recovery time. Even if you're not at, we should take out that athletic, just recovery time, right? If you want to do something, even if that's gardening or playing with the grandkids, at least, right? There's some recoup there. Improve stress response, calm, balanced mind, balanced emotions. We've definitely noticed just already energy, vitality. It doesn't mention any mental stuff there, but I would say mental as far as just us, what we've noticed so far, just some mental clarity and yeah, just clear thinking. It's just a little, it's hard to explain, but it's different. So yeah.
I want to show you guys, this is what it looks like. Trying to get in front of my camera. You can barely see it. It's only maybe an inch, a little over an inch wide. It has medical grade adhesive on it, like a Band-Aid would. And all this patch this is the X39. This is your base patch that you would wear. And this is where you would start because of all the things that this benefit listed. And it has the amino acids in it and salts and sugars. So you can cut this open and it's not going to harm you. You're not absorbing anything, like it's not like a nicotine patch or something like that. It's non-transdermal. You're not absorbing anything. It's actually causing your body to reflect its own infrared heat back into the body, creating those new stem cells. And it is listed as a wellness product by the FDA. It is patented, and that's really key. David Schmidt, the creator of these, he holds over 100 patents. And that is very important because it's hard to get a patent. And they're very inexpensive for what they do, especially. And I guess we can talk about that a little bit more later.
Sure. I didn't know it actually increased the production of amino acids in the body. So it's not just copper peptides, it's doing some other things. And so this study was showing just memory. So I mentioned just clear thinking, sleep and vitality. So I thought that was interesting. And then also they've done some brain mapping. And so that also showed an increase. And I'm going to show another picture. But the other thing that I really appreciated about this is not like a test on 25-year-old males, which is what a lot of drug companies do. They do young, healthy males is what they do all their testing on. But this was on 60-year-olds and up. So there was all improved cognition and balanced brain with the X39. And you can see this is just one person. And so it says 77-year-old female. And we don't know exactly what we're looking at, right? But they've explained it as a hyperactive brain, then very calm after 3 weeks, and then very balanced after just 6 weeks of use. So going to work pretty quickly. There you go.
So
There's a better picture.
yeah, very good. Before we go on to that too, they've done, they recommend that you do thermal imaging. If you have inflammation, if you have pain issues, that kind of thing in the body. Stephanie does do thermal imaging in her office. And so if you need that done, it's great to have a baseline of it. I'm fixing to see her to just do it to get a baseline. And the thermal imaging, the things that I have seen in the studies, the inflammation is so significantly decreased just by wearing the X39 patch. It's insane to see that. So the brain mapping and the thermal imaging are reading that heat or that infrared light off the body. And it's one more proof of being able to see how these little patches work. Yeah, on the body. It's phenomenal. They also cause your body to create not just the copper peptides, and the amino acids, but they also cause your body to create its own collagen. How many of you guys take a collagen supplement? I do, and I spend a significant amount of money every month buying collagen and amino acids and melatonin. And one of the patches particularly causes your body to release it and create its own melatonin. One causes it to release serotonin and GABA. So sleep issues, think about that. But I don't have to take those supplements anymore because, and I don't have to pay for them, and I don't have to, it's one less thing I have to take just by wearing a patch. And it's enabling my body to do its own healing right from the inside out. And thereby I know I'm going to uptake that and utilize that in a much more efficient way. Whereas when I take a supplement, I'm probably only absorbing about 30% of the supplements that I'm taking. So, and I take good supplements. So it's a really incredible tool. And it's one of the powerful things that it does on top of that. So.
Yeah. And mostly we're talking tonight about the X39, but she mentioned a few other patches, and I'll bring those up on another slide. But the X39 is kind of the foundational patch just for what it does for the copper peptides and activating your stem cells. So that is why the company just, goodness, multiplied exponentially when they were able to get this patented and out in the market just a couple of years ago. So that took off. So the others are kind of bonuses that multiply the effects that you would use with it. But this is the foundational one you use. And so you just put it on. I never thought there was an easy button in natural health, but this might be it. Just to be able to put something on and not have to do anything, and you notice an increase in how you feel and feeling better, which hopefully encourages you to maybe put forth a little more effort as far as to do the things, because of course if you can multiply and do the healthy things, it will multiply the effects. But drinking plenty of water and electrolytes is, though, very helpful to at least start there with your healthy lifestyle habits when you're using the patch.
And you wear these for 12 hours on, and then you take them off for 12 hours. You put them one of two places, 2 inches below the belly button, or you reach up back here right at C7, which is right there at the top of your, top of your back. And I switch mine up. One day I wear it one place, one day I wear it the other. I was listening to one person said they had, horrific digestive issues, and they wore it below the belly button. David Smith talks about that being healing to the gut. And I end up wearing mine for a little bit longer than 12 hours. I will usually put it on when I get up at 6, and then I don't take it off until bedtime. The reason you do that, there's a thing called attenuation, that your body gets used to having that there. So switching up the location is good. And it also gives your body a time to recuperate. So to create those new stem cells, right, to reverse that aging process and to help with the pain and inflammation. So you want to give your body a little bit of a break, and you throw it away. You wear a new patch each day. I've been taking my patches because they still have a charge in them. And I take my patches and I tape it on the inside of my old lab's collar, and his stamina and mobility has increased phenomenally. And I just, like I said, I'm cheap. I'm like, well, why not? I have a friend of mine that is a plant guru, and she's putting them in her plants. So I'm like, why not? They're living things, right? So that's just kind of how you would use them.
Yeah. I would love to hear a report back on the plants.
Me too. I'm like,
Yeah.
Audrey's she's gonna have to get with it and tell us all about that.
Yeah,
So
we need a report on that. I think they're made to work for a good 16 plus hours. So that's why if you're using them 12, they do still have a little bit of life in them. And so you can, like she said, use them on a dog or something.
Yeah.
The effects from the patches are cumulative. So the longer you wear them, the more benefits you're going to notice. And they say about for every decade that you've been alive, that you should wear them for a month. So I just hit 50, so I should give it a good 5 months. But the longer you wear them, the more you'll see benefits. But that doesn't mean we didn't. I mean, we noticed in just a few days a difference. So you will notice things before, but don't give up after a few days if you don't notice anything. How long did it take for y'all, Sheila?
I notice I do a lot of different modalities in my office. I do kinesiology work, and I'm very in tune with feeling that energetic. I do bioresonance scanning, so I'm used to that feeling of being aware of what's going on down my spine and in my body. And I noticed in about 5 minutes that I could feel that electrical frequency. My energy was, like we've all been around those people that are just high energy and they're good, they're productive, they're, and you kind of entrained to that, right? Or you've been around Debbie Downer, excuse me, Debbie, that's what we say, and they take you down. I noticed that my body liked it. And then within that first week, the brain fog I was so productive, and the brain fog, I was hitting on all cylinders. That's what I felt. I don't have a lot of health issues. I battle some inflammation and some thyroid stuff. And I've been wearing the X39 patches, pardon the dogs in the background. I have been wearing those for about 5 months now, and I will never be without the X39s again, ever. When we went to Europe, to meet again, I wore the X39 patches. Hang on just a second. Thor, stop. I wore the X39 patches, and we had a 19-hour flight, and we missed a complete sleep cycle coming home. I did not miss a beat. I never had jet lag. I never had anything. And we walked 12 miles a day while we were in Europe, which was phenomenal, like hard miles. Every day we were there. We went from 6 in the morning until 11, 12 o'clock at night. And my husband is COVID shot injured severely to the point of almost dying. And he has scar tissue in his lungs. And 6 months ago, he would not have made the trip. Like, he would not have done it. And he is a very, very big advocate of the X39 and the pain patch. So that's what we've noticed. And then I have clients that are using them. And I was talking to a friend of mine that's in my oily team or cross lines with me. And she was telling me her family's been doing them for about the same time. And it was unbelievable, the things that they have avoided. And then Steve's cardiologist is Dr. Peter McCullough. He's a world-renowned cardiologist. And we went down there about 9-10 weeks ago for a checkup. And on Steve's list of all the things he does was the X39 and the IceWave pain patch. And he was tickle pink to see Steve on them because he had avoided knee surgery. He's a runner and he'd blown his knee out. And so I have talked to about 4 or 5 different physicians that recommend them highly. So I'm getting anecdotal evidence of all kinds from all types of people with all types of health issues. So
I asked my grandmother today, so she's 86, I think. And so she's been wearing the X39, just the X39 for 2 weeks. And she said she's sleeping better. And she was having quite a bit of back pain. And so she said back pain's gone. It was gone the first week. I'm not sure what was going on, but it's gone. So she said, I'm just ready for my skin to look better. So she's ready for that.
I actually, I've been doing, there's a skin patch, and I have been doing the skin patch for 2 months now. And a friend of mine that just joined LifeWave, we were talking, and I said, I really think it's helping the crow's feet and my skin on my arms. I have I'm a sun junkie. I'm outside all the time. And I noticed the texture of my skin on my arms. She even noticed it. So I was like, hey, this is awesome. So I did some before pictures. I'm going to give it full 3 months, and then I'm going to check that. And I'm going to do it before and after, and everybody can tell me if there's a huge difference. So
yeah.
So tell her to hang in there.
Yes.
Cool.
All right. I think we talked about this. I'm not sure why this is in here, but it does talk about just the importance of water and electrolytes. And I'll just kind of what she mentioned about the MEND, MEND, and D is disconnect. And we are electrical beings. And so when we can have water and electrolytes in our system, that electricity is going to run better throughout the system. So that's definitely very helpful. And of course, when we're making healthy steps, the more steps you make, the more that's multiplied. But this is going to get you off and started on the right foot and make you feel better and more energetic. I just feel like right off the bat. So you'll be a little more inclined and ready to maybe tackle some other habits that you've pushed aside. So
I really like this because it does address all four legs of that chair, that MEND, and it works with the foundational things, moving your body, getting plenty of rest at night, drinking plenty of water. I'm a big proponent of electrolytes and trace minerals. And, so those kinds of things, watching what you're eating, if you can avoid sugar and processed foods, those are just foundational things that address and they work synergistically with these. And someone was asking me this week about all of the, things we do. We take a ton of supplements, all these things, but you have to address all four of the legs of those chairs. And they were like, well, I do infrared therapy, like I have a light wand. And I'm like, well, infrared therapy is phenomenal, but you have to stop in and do it. It takes at least 20 to 30 minutes a day. That gadget is expensive, right? And it doesn't cause your body to create new stem cells. Yes, it has its place, but I have never seen anything that addresses all of the things at one time. And it's so easy. I'm like Stephanie, I did not ever think that we would have an easy button. And I keep asking Stephanie, what have we stumbled upon? Like, this is crazy. The more we research it, the more we're working together with this. It's like, what in the world is this? And so I encourage you because it kind of helps you, gives you the impetus. I'm going to put on my patch. I'm going to do my Bible study. I'm going to pray. I'm going to have a positive outlook. I'm going to do my affirmations. You will need to take some supplements probably, but I'm going to eat right. I'm going to get some sunshine. It kind of gives you the impetus to do something for yourself. And it all works synergistically. And it's phenomenal to see that. So if this helps people to draw a line in the sand and they get some immediate relief of pain and inflammation, or mental stress and strain, if it helps with that and it changes their life, it's phenomenal. So
and it is doing that for so many people. So
it is.
I told Sheila last week, I think Scott was on like maybe day 5 and he had driven off to work and he got a mile or two down the road and he turned around and he came back. He goes, I forgot my patch. And I was like, well, I was really shocked that he had come back. He doesn't always do all the things that I like anyway, as far as natural health things go, but he's like, no, I have been clear, focused, on task, just, on it. He's like, I didn't want to be without it. So he turned around and got it before he went to work. So just that he noticed that in the first few days was pretty phenomenal for us to notice that. So this is David Schmidt. He is the inventor. He's also the owner of LifeWave. If you can hear him talk, we've been listening to all these different YouTube videos, interviews, and he is just, I'm very impressed, I guess. Very phenomenal, very, seems like just a great person, great human. I love that he gives credit to God for all his inventions, that he's been inspired by the Lord for all his the things. He's very humanitarian in his efforts. So he has over 150 patents. Some of those are very humanitarian things, like some drone that he wants to use to, I don't know what to do. But all the patches are patented. He's created them. He's testing them. He's still testing new ones he's got. So very cool. Very good guy to check out. Here's some of the other patches. The X49. And someone asked me the other day what the number stood for. I guess he numbers them, each one, as he starts testing them. And so 39 must have been the 39th patch he tested before he finally got what was where he needed to be. And he didn't rename them, is what I heard. I don't know. But it doesn't stand for anything, I don't think. 49 also helps with athletic performance, stamina, also cardiovascular health. So a lot of people use that with 39 and 49 together. The
And
Eon. Go ahead.
there are story after story of professional athletes that he did trials with Olympic skaters, swimmers. I mean, these people there are whole Olympic teams that are wearing these patches, and they're 100% across the board increase in stamina, repair, energy. You'll see one of the winners, they'll rip their shirt off and there's like these patches on them. Now you'll know what they are. And it's pretty cool to hear some of the stories. So
yes. I think that some of them were using, I don't know if you can see my mouse, some of them were using the energy enhancer, but because I think that came out first, and then X49 came out. So it's a beefed up version of that, I believe. The Alavita for skin health, carnosine, brain. So lots of people have mentioned that for the brain health or fog. I believe maybe post-COVID issues. Have you heard that as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Heard several things.
The glutathione, great. Oh, that's what helps produce, increase the body's production by like 300%. So when you take a glutathione supplement, those are very, most of them are junk. And just FYI, glutathione supplements, your body really absorbs very little from oral supplementation of glutathione. So this was tested to increase the body's production by 300%, which is huge. Huge. Ice Wave is the pain patches that you can put on location or the bottom of your feet if you've got just chronic pain everywhere. Silent Night, obviously for sleep. And the SP6 works with the endocrine system, so hormones and cravings and weight. The Silent Night, I would always start with X39. Just know these are something you might use in addition to the X39.
The Eon is huge for inflammation. And so most people, probably, what would you say, Stephanie, 99% of us have inflammation issues?
Everyone I've tested is the thermal imaging has inflammation issues.
Yeah, so, and bioresonance scanning, it's the same. And so it is recommended that you do the X39 first. And if you need to add in a patch, the Eon, or if you have high pain, the Ice Wave. The SP6 is phenomenal. Think of it as endocrine system. And the Alavita patch, if you have sleep issues, the Alavita patch will actually increases your body's production of melatonin and GABA. And so I would definitely say try that before the Silent Night patch.
That was what I was about to say.
Yeah. And I've been wearing mine right here on this acupressure point on the right side. And I'm telling you, I have not taken melatonin since I started reading. The Alavita was doing it for skin health, right? And then when I found that out about the melatonin, I ditched the melatonin. I was taking 30 milligrams a night of melatonin to sleep.
Wow, so, that's a lot. Yep.
No melatonin. So I'm loving it. Like, it's great. I'm sleeping so well. So there's some breakout patches that definitely have their place. But the X39 is, you want to get that on board, get a baseline and see where you're at, see what you're feeling before you add in any of the other, unless you're really chronically ill and have huge pain issues and that kind of thing. So.
This just mentions just the growth. So when the company jumped from 20 million to 320 million in a couple of years, that was because of X39 came out. But the company itself has been around. This is their 20th year. So I think he was just so busy with some of the, who knows, all those Olympic teams, the swimmers, the ice skating, and all the different people. I hadn't heard of them, but they have been around for 20 years. So I'm like feeling a little left out, but we're in it now. So,
and it's an interesting, fun learning curve. Stephanie and I have been learning this together, and somebody asked me a question today and I was like, I don't know, but I'll find out, because we're listening and poring over videos. And I'm telling you, we are learning more from David Smith's interviews on YouTube. He is an incredible man. And what he has coming for us in 2024, there's some jewelry coming out, I'm understanding, and a whole food supplement that will work in conjunction with. So, and the men in your life will love this because of the, he has a little protocol with the X39, that he does with that and some minerals to boost testosterone and handle some male hormone and functional disorders that men may have the older they get. So anyway, so there's a lot, yeah, that the whole family can partake on that. So
I haven't seen anything bad.
no, me either.
I was just gonna say that just this here, obviously X39 can help with health. We've seen, heard, and personally testified to so many different things that we've seen. But then also, if you're interested in the opportunity to just share it with other people for some time and financial freedom, we would love to talk to you about that. It is a direct sales business, obviously. Some people love that, some people hate that. Totally understand. All of us have been burned by something along the way, but I do believe that this is a great company, and the leadership so far that I've seen has been great. Very much Christians in most of them, I mean, and very much patriots, and just a lot of great people, a lot of great energy. I know different systems and people can bring you down, but if you want to talk about that, and if you don't, that's okay too. You'll just get benefit just from using the patches. So please don't let that turn you off. And then the last a little bit was we would love to share with you how to order and how to get started. And we're happy to do that one-on-one. I've got one more screen to show you as far as how to order, and then I will stop the recording and we'll just answer questions. Does that sound good? Maybe.